Imagine this. You walk into a doctor's office. You've got a cough. Nothing crazy, just a cough. And the doctor hands you a bottle of heroin. Or picture this instead. You nearly drown in a river. Someone pulls you out. You're barely breathing. And to save your life, a doctor grabs a tube and blows smoke straight into your rear end. I'm not making this up. This actually happened. For real. To real people. History isn't just old books and boring dates. It's a graveyard of medical horror stories. Things doctors did to human beings in the name of healing that are somehow worse than anything a horror movie could write. Some people survived, some didn't. And by the end of this video, you're gonna look at modern medicine a whole lot differently. Let's get into it. Incident 1, the heroin cough syrup. Let's start with something that sounds like a joke. It's not. In the late 1800s, a company called Bayer, yes, the same Bayer that makes aspirin sitting in your bathroom cabinet right now, started selling a brand new wonder drug. It was called heroin, and it wasn't sold as a party drug or a street drug. It was sold as medicine, a cough suppressant, marketed as safer than morphine. Non-addictive, they said. Perfect for children, they said. They called it the family medicine. Think about that phrase for a second. Family medicine. Parents were giving heroin to their kids at bedtime to stop a cough. No warning labels, no red flags, just a bottle on the shelf next to the aspirin. And here's the part that really messes with you. This wasn't some shady back alley operation. This was a trusted pharmaceutical company. People believed them. They trusted the label. That trust helped kickstart one of the earliest addiction crises in American history. A crisis that, in some ways, never really ended. So next time you take cough syrup, maybe just double-check the label. Because trust me, the next story gets even stranger. This one involves smoke, a bellows, and a part of the body you really don't want a doctor experimenting on. Incident 2, the tobacco smoke enema. This one sounds like a bad joke. It is not a joke. In the 1700s, if you were pulled out of a river half-drowned, barely breathing, unconscious, doctors had a resuscitation method. They would take a tube, hook it up to a bellows, and pump tobacco smoke directly into your rectum. Yes, that's real. That happened repeatedly as standard medical practice. Why? Because doctors believed the heat and the stimulation from the tobacco smoke would shock the body back to life, jumpstart the heart, wake the lungs back up. There were actual kits made for this. They were kept along riverbanks in London, hanging on hooks, ready to go, like a modern-day defibrillator, except it's a smoke pump aimed at your backside. Picture almost drowning, waking up gasping for air, confused, terrified, only to realize what had just been done to save you. That's not even the darkest thing on this list. Not even close. Because next, we're talking about doctors who didn't stop at smoke. They went straight for the skull. With a drill. Incident 3, trepanation, the skull drill. This is one of the oldest surgeries known to human history, and it is exactly as horrifying as it sounds. Doctors, if you can even call them that back then, would take a sharpened rock or a hand drill and bore a hole directly into a patient's skull while they were awake. The reason? To cure seizures, migraines, madness, or in a lot of cases, to release evil spirits that were supposedly trapped inside the brain, causing all the pain. Here's the part that will genuinely give you chills. Archaeologists have found ancient skulls with these holes, and the bone had started healing around the edges. That means the person survived the surgery. They lived long enough afterward for their body to start growing new bone. Some people had this done to them more than once. Try to sit with that for a second. Fully conscious, a hole drilled into your head, and you survived it, only to potentially go through it again. But if you think metal drills and rocks are terrifying, wait until you hear about the miracle water that made a millionaire's jaw fall off his own face. Incident 4. Radithor, the radioactive miracle tonic. In the early 1900s, scientists discovered radium, and instead of treating it with caution, The world treated it like magic. Companies started bottling radium-infused water and selling it as a health tonic, a cure-all, something that would give you energy, glowing skin, even extend your life. One man believed this completely. His name was Eben Byers, a wealthy American socialite, athlete, successful businessman. He didn't just drink this radioactive water occasionally. He drank several bottles a day, for years. At first, he swore it made him feel incredible, stronger, more energetic. He told everyone to try it. Then his jaw started to ache. Then it started to rot from the inside. Then, piece by piece, his jawbone literally fell apart and had to be removed. By the time doctors understood what radium exposure was actually doing to the human body, it was too late for Byers. His bones were disintegrating from radiation poisoning, from the inside out. It was fine, until it very suddenly and very horrifically was not. And if you think that's the worst radium ever did to people, go check out my video on the Radium Girls, the women who painted watch dials with radium paint and paid an even more brutal price. But we're not done yet, because the next incident didn't just kill one wealthy man. It may have killed an emperor who ruled over millions. Incident 5, Mercury for Eternal Life. Meet Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China, a man who built armies, built walls, and conquered nations. But there was one thing he couldn't conquer: death. So he turned to his royal doctors and alchemists and demanded they create something impossible, a pill that would make him immortal. Their answer: mercury. The emperor's physicians created life pills packed with mercury, believing the toxic metal held the secret to eternal life. And the emperor took them, regularly, for years. The irony is almost too dark to process. Instead of granting him immortality, the mercury slowly poisoned his mind and his body. He grew increasingly unstable, paranoid. His organs began shutting down one by one. He died at just 49 years old, killed by the very cure he believed would make him live forever. The most powerful man in the world, defeated not by an enemy army, not by an assassin, but by his own doctors and his own desperate fear of death. So there you have it: heroin for coughs, smoke enemas for drowning victims, holes drilled into living skulls, radioactive water, mercury pills promising eternal life. And if you think all of that is disturbing, wait until you hear about the Victorian beauty trends women used on their own faces. Poison hiding in plain sight, marketed as glamour. That's a nightmare for another video. So, which one of these got under your skin the most? The heroin? The skull drill? The smoke enema? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one.